Welcome back into the mental game where this week's guest is TikTok star, that one mailman.
I firmly believe life is easier with a smile. That's why I do what I do. That's why I continue to make these videos. To find out that I got a gift to make people laugh it's a blessing, man.
And in this episode, Sean, aka that one mailman, opens up about what it's been like to explode on social media these past 2 years and become one of the biggest TikTok stars and now a stand-up comedian. But we also go back to his early life with his family as a kid and his relationship with his father and how that struggle has now affected him and inspired him to be the best husband and parent he can be for his daughters and his wife. All of that and much, much more coming up in this episode. But first, I want to tell you about Man Therapy. And guys, I am talking to you because we have to be comfortable being vulnerable and open up about our mental health. And that's why I want you to go to mantherapy.org to find some amazing tools and resources to help you with your mental health. But now it is time for the latest episode here on The Mental Game with That One Mailman. Welcome back into the mental game, and as you can see sitting next to me, I got a very special guest, the OG Stank, that one mailman.
How you doing,
Sean
man?
Fogelson. Thank you so much for coming on the mental game, brother.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, this is great. You're all swagged out. You got the J's,
that's
your
my
own
merch.
your
That's
own
me.
merch, the Reds
On the
cap.
T-shirt and still alive.
Is that wild to think about?
That's
looking at that now,
crazy, bro. It's amazing.
Yeah, your journey's been super cool. We were talking right before we started this, just your journey from Mailman in Cincinnati on the west side, which I'm from the west side too. So that's really cool to see. But then just the explosion on TikTok. Now you're touring the country doing stand-up. I want to get into all that. It's been mind-blowing. Can you even believe what you're doing right now?
I still ain't even wrap my head around it, man. I've just been moving one day at a time, every day.
It's really cool to watch, man, and I want to get into your whole story. But the first thing we ask everyone here on the mental game is, what does mental health mean to you? And everyone's got a unique answer because we're all on our own journey, man.
Right.
It's unique to each person's story. But I ask you the same thing. What does mental health mean to you?
I think mental health is a real important part of life. Like, I firmly believe life is easier with a smile. That's why I do what I do. That's why I continue to make these videos. That's why I told my job, like, this is bigger than me. This is bigger than the post office. Like, I'm never going to stop making these videos. Like, if I don't rely on somebody to make me happy, you know what I'm saying? I find that inside myself.
Yep.
Like, that's too much pressure to put on somebody else to make me happy. Like, that's my job. That's my responsibility. So I try not to let what other folks say, and I just try to be me one day at a time. And if that gets too hard, then I just go an hour at a time.
Finding that happiness, like, inside yourself as someone that's, like, dealt with depression, suicidal thoughts myself, like, it took me like 15, 16, 17 years to figure out that answer.
Yeah.
And it's so powerful. And for you, I want to walk through your story. We're going to get to TikTok and stand up, here in a bit. But your story growing up in Price Hill, west side of Cincinnati, what was the OG Stank's childhood like? Did you ever, have dreams of being an entertainer, or just take me through kind of your life
Not at
early
all,
on?
brother. Not at all. So we grew up. We ain't had no money. I didn't grow up in the trenches. I don't want to get that twisted, none of that. I wasn't in the trenches. I had we always had a home. My mom did her thing. My dad wasn't never in the picture for a little bit, but we stayed with my grandma. My dad was in and out. He was on drugs, dating strippers, getting prostitutes, all kinds of crazy, you know what I mean? Living that lifestyle.
Yep.
So he was broken promises left and right. Then we moved in with my mama, and she got with my stepdad. And then they got custody of his 4 nieces and nephews. So that's what put us in the funk, on food stamps, Section 8, all of that. We was broke. My mama was a stay-at-home mom, and my stepdad was the one that was providing. So growing up, I thought that's what it was about. That's what I thought life was. But we ain't had no money. Like, I remember I was like 10, and I always wanted a 2-liter. Like, we always had to drink Kool-Aid growing up or water, you know what I mean? So, and I always wanted pop. And I'm like, man, let me just go get some work, to
Yeah.
get some money, you know what I mean? And I went down to the 25-hour store, that's what it was called, on the corner of Grand and Glenway.
Yep.
And then I just asked him, I'm like, bro, can I do some work around? And he's like, yeah, man, gave me $5 a day. I was like 10, 11 years old. But then my mama bought me a little lizard, and then I had to take care of that. So it was just working hard, man, and just appreciating what I got. And I didn't have no rough bring up, you know what I'm saying? I was just a white boy in the ghetto that hung out with the brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So everybody think I'm fake. I talk this way for like, no, I just
This is you.
adapted to my environment. Like, this is me. Like, yeah, I can be professional, but I sound weird then when I'm putting the INGs on the end of the words and all of that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, then it don't sound like me. Like, I can watch on B105, I was weirded out on there. Like, cause
Country
it's
station,
country,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I'm like, what they want with me? Well, it was cause Jelly Roll reached out, and
Right.
then I put two and two together, and I'm like, okay. And everything that they put on there, it went viral. So I was
Oh,
like, all
yeah.
right, well, it's helping them out too. So that's all I want to do with this, man, is just help people out. Cause I don't need it. I'll go back to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to find out that I got a gift to make people laugh it's a blessing, man.
You're authentically yourself, and that's what, like, you're talking about. Yeah, this is me. I don't talk like I'm not fake. Like,
Right.
this is who you are, and I
Yeah.
think that's a really powerful thing. If I can backtrack and look, this is a show, you can be as open or as not open as you want to be. But you talking about your upbringing and your dad being in and out and on, on drugs,
Yeah.
dealing with, different women, different things like that.
Yeah.
How did that have an effect on your childhood or your view of, I don't know, maybe just being a man? Like, did that hurt your mental health at all, seeing what he was doing? Or
I always knew I didn't want to be like that. Like, you know what I mean? Then I had a handicapped brother who
Mhm.
he's passed away at 15 and a half, but he wasn't supposed to live past 6 months. They wanted the doctors wanted my mama to pull the plug, and she was like, nah, like, I'm gonna let God do his work. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So he ended up living to 15 and a half, but my dad told my mama that ain't my kid. Like, I don't produce handicapped kids. And then that was the last straw with me. And I was young when he said that,
Yeah.
but I was old enough to understand. And I'm like, I'm through with him. Like, he ain't nothing to me. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And then he ended up overdosing. And it's just been everybody overdosing around me. So it is tough. I just try to keep it going one day at a time. Like, all my friends overdosed. They're gone. Like, everybody I grew up with, damn near, they're gone.
Yeah, I've had, like I said, I grew up on the west side too, went to LaSalle, so over that way. But I've had, I think, 3 friends OD. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just like,
crazy,
it's
bro.
crazy the way it's like changed the last 5-10 years. You mentioned like seeing that out of your dad or out of your friends. Like, you didn't want to be a part of any of that,
Nowhere near
but
it.
you can be a product of your environment sometimes. So how did you occupy your time or choose to take this different route when you're surrounded by this stuff
Right.
in your neighborhood?
Sports. Like, sports kept me out of so much.
Yeah.
So much. Like, I played baseball, basketball, all through high school and all of that. And then, like, I hung out with an older crowd, and they knew my mama would whoop my like, it would be over for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I would even try to go do something, slide with them, they'd be like, nah, bro, like, stay here. Like, it's a wrap. Your mama
Yeah.
had you in the house the whole month.
Right.
So I don't know. I learned from their mistakes. You know what I mean? Somebody
Right.
would get locked up, and I'm like, ooh, okay, I ain't doing that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But and then my stepdad's friends, like, seeing them going down the same path that my friends went down.
Right.
I've been exposed to it at an early age to where I'm a thinker instead of a doer. You know what I mean? I'm gonna think
Yeah.
about what them consequences gonna be before I do it. So I don't know. I just try to take it one day at a time. That's the biggest thing I
Yeah.
can preach, man. One day at a time, because it's right there. It's on every corner. It's
Yep.
so easy to get, boom, just like that. And now you messing around in the devil's backyard.
Yep.
It's crazy. So yeah, I don't know. It's a killer.
Well, you talking about like that hungriness to just get a 2-liter. Like, it's such a simple thing now that you can look back on it.
Right.
But when you're 10 years old and you've been drinking Kool-Aid or water, whatever, like, and then you go up the hustle to go to the 25-hour store, ask to work, get paid 5 hours a day. Do you think your work ethic, like, throughout, like, learning that at a young age by seeing maybe what people didn't do or trying to get out of the situation you were in, did that help you on your journey, you think, just that hard work ethic?
Yeah, I think my stepdad had a lot to do with it too. Like, he had 5 other people that he had to take care of. You know what I
Right.
mean? My mama wasn't working. Then it was us 4 kids or 5 kids, cause yeah, they got 4 and then me.
Yeah.
So yeah, 5 kids. And then he was doing it all on his own, and he ain't had to. So I looked
Yeah.
at that like, okay, that's a man right there.
Hmm.
He doing something, and I didn't realize that till I got older. Like growing up, I
Yeah.
hated him. I couldn't stand him. Like I remember crying when him and my mama got married. I went hid behind the little recliner. As soon as I got home from school, I found out they got married, and I'm just bawling my eyes out. But I just couldn't stand him. And, you know, it's a thin line between step parents
Yep.
and
I got a stepdad
parents.
too.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Then I hated my dad, so it was like, bro, I don't even want you in my life. Like I don't care. And but now that I'm grown, I see what he was doing, and I see,
Yeah.
you know, man, and I thank him to this day. Like, bro, you ain't have to do that. You gave up your whole childhood. He was 18 when he got with my mom.
Wow.
So like he gave up his whole
Oh yeah.
20s is good years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he didn't care. He did it for us. So that had a big part in my work ethic. And
Mm.
then I always just want something like Jordan's shoes. I can remember seeing Air Force One imprints in the snow. And I'm like, man, I can't wait to get me a pair of them Forces.
Yeah.
And then boom, I got 15 pairs of Jordans. And hard work, man.
The simple things in life that can make you happy that I think back then you look and you go, never thought I'd have this.
Yeah.
Maybe never thought I could work towards it. But then you start working. What were some of your other first jobs before you got to working at the post office?
Man, I couldn't get hired on nowhere. I was always cutting grass, shoveling snow, doing stuff on the street. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Cleaning up yards. But I could never get no legit job with taxes and all that
Yeah.
until I was 18. As soon as I got out of high school, I started doing a hardwood floor under the table though.
Mm.
But then I was 18, I got a job at Frito-Lay. I was there for like 2 years. And then where'd I go then? Warehouse to warehouse.
Yeah.
And then to the mailman.
And that job, looking back, changed your life.
Yeah, it sure did. And I almost quit. TikTok saved my job. Like I was about to quit the post office. Like within that week, it was the craziest thing ever because we was working, COVID happened.
Yep.
And then I downloaded TikTok, but I didn't start making content for a good 3 months.
Oh,
Like, you know what
wow,
I mean?
yeah.
I'm just scrolling, trying to figure it out. Like I thought it was all dancing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not about to get on here and dance, bro.
Hey, you
like,
probably got some
yeah.
moves, bro. Come
Like
on now.
I ain't trying to do it at the work. Like I
Yeah.
just walked 15 miles. I am not trying to dance. But so I got to scrolling and I would see how they would do the videos, the little skits, and I'm like, man, I would have did this different and that'd have been way funnier. So I did my first little skit and it kind of went lightweight viral for only 300 followers or whatever I had. My
Yeah.
first video was a transition. I like snapped some mail away.
And you're like, oh shit,
Yeah,
this
and
works.
I'm like, man, what in the world was I doing? If I look at it now, it's crazy. The transition was horrible, everything. But I did one video. I don't even remember what it was. I did a stripping video that went crazy viral.
Okay.
It was
yeah.
a thirst trap.
I didn't see that one.
It was I had my mailman button up on the little, and I had my work pants on, and then there was a chair, and I unbuttoned it. I ain't had no shirt on. I left it unbuttoned, and I captioned it. Gas prices about to have me getting a second job, and I was on the chair like this, and then I was just grinding in the air. It went crazy viral. It was a thirst trap, of course, but I asked my wife, I'm like, is it cool for me to post this?
Yeah, I was about to ask did it work, but
Yeah.
you were already wifed up.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no doubt. I got her respect though. Definitely.
That's so funny, and I want to ask more about the mail job or with the post office being a mailman. But you just mentioned your wife, and I know you have 3 daughters.
Yep.
Growing up, how you did seeing certain parenting or struggling a certain way, maybe with relationships with your own parents. How did that change your view on marriage and being a father once you got to that point in your life?
It goes right back to my stepdad again. Just seeing how he treated my mom and just, you know what I mean? Like, that's a man. That's a husband right there. Like, he handled business when it was time to stand on business, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
And it just goes to, I don't want to be that dad that I had.
Yeah.
I don't never want that. My kids and my wife, like, I always put them first. Like, I wouldn't have no reason to be me if it weren't for them.
Right.
I'd probably be out here dead or in jail or something, you know what I mean? So they're the reason they keep me going, bro. They keep my mental on rock.
That's super powerful.
Yeah.
And I think when you have motivation or reasons behind who you are or the way that you live, it definitely adds to it. And going back to the TikTok now, I mean, you found it I don't know if saying it by accident's the right way to say it,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah. My wife's the one that told me about it, and it's so the COVID happened at work, and I was just walking. We was working 70 hours a week,
yeah.
13 days
And
straight.
you're
We would
walking
get
everything.
yeah, at
Jeez.
least 13 miles a day,
Phew.
and we were working 13 days straight. We would get Sunday off, and then boom, it would bounce us right back to 13 straight. We would get Sunday,
That's
and
crazy.
it's just me by myself. I'm just walking. I'm tired of this. I'm like, man, I'm about to be done. Well, then I downloaded TikTok, started seeing how they would lip sync the sounds and
Yeah.
do acting over the sounds, and I would get a funny sound, and I would just think all day, like, how can I make this pertain to mail? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then it took my mind off of thinking like, damn, I'm about to be here 12, 13 hours a day. Soon as I would find an idea that was funny in my head, I would
Yep.
just start dipping. Like, all right, let's hurry up and get this
Yeah.
mail delivered. Then I would just be excited to get home, do the video. And then the fans, the interactions, man, it just keeps you doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it makes it worth it.
Yeah.
Like, they're really doing something for somebody. And I didn't believe that at first. I thought it was just TikTok feeding me
Right.
some boo just to keep me
Yeah.
intrigued. You know what I'm saying? So, but then I would click on their profile and it would really be people. And
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. Then I went to that Jelly Roll concert and it was a little girl crying just to take a picture with me. I'm like, what? This crazy.
Your
Crazy,
your
bro.
life changed because of being a mailman and downloading TikTok. And you said you almost quit your job
Yep.
before COVID?
Yep. TikTok saved my job. I'd have never been there. That last 6, 8 months, it was about a year and a half. Yeah, about a year and a half. Cause I only been on TikTok
Yeah.
2 years. February was 2 years. So yeah, that last year it saved me.
Did you have something come up later in life or hit a rock bottom moment or something that like made you want to quit job, or were you in a hole? Was there something going on that made you feel that way?
That made me want to quit the post office.
Yeah.
Just working so much, like, and then I would bring that stress home, and I'd be yelling at my kids for like the smallest thing,
Yeah.
and I would just feel my fuse just get smaller and smaller,
Mm,
and you know what I mean? It was just
yeah.
like I'm living at the post office.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired. I don't need this. I go to Walmart. Like, I bet you they get discounts and everything.
Yep.
Like, I don't need this
They
damn
got 2
job.
liters.
Yeah, I get all the little Cheetos, all I want. But it was too much mentally. Like, it was
Yeah.
killing me, bro. It was like I was living at the post office. And then you factor the rain and the weather, and
Yep.
then it's not you just walking and dropping mail in a box. You got to deal with the public. You got to deal with sidewalks, steps, like them
Yeah.
different elevator sidewalks. That'll get them muscles in your legs that you ain't even know you had. You could be like, oh dang. So it was a lot mentally, physically,
Yeah.
all of that. And you just had to be there, and it wasn't like it's easier said than done to just call in.
Right.
Because when you call in, you leaving 8 to 10 hours worth of work for your
Someone else.
peers. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, they gotta clean that up.
Yep.
And I'm a hard worker, and I'll be feeling bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't like to piss people off. So I wouldn't never call in, man. That's how I was able to go on tour them last 2 months
Yep.
without even going to work, because I just used up all my time.
So are you working at the post office still?
Nah, I
Okay.
resigned. I
Okay.
resigned like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Congrats. That's
Thank
big,
you,
man. That's
thank
super.
you.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
And,
no
and
doubt.
like you said, you're doing stand up full time now. But when you found TikTok and you started talking about the fan interactions,
Mm-hmm.
you are authentically genuine yourself. And that is, if you are, people notice it and they fall in
Yeah.
love with you. They appreciate you. You know, I interview a lot of athletes, musicians, even, comedians too,
Mm-hmm.
where their creative outlet, whether it's playing a sport, writing songs, writing jokes, that helps them get through life. It seems like TikTok is that for you, and now being on a stage, like that's
Yeah.
your therapy.
Yeah, bro, it's amazing. Just that, like, I'll be nervous before I go up there,
Mhm.
and then I'll be nervous on stage too. And I think I'll be up there cussing so much. I'm like, man, I need to chill out. And my
Yeah.
manager be telling me the same thing. He's like, I think it might be because of your nerves, and it probably is.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm still new at this,
Yeah.
but my hands used to sweat. I used to hold my notebook right before I went on stage and then just set it down and then go out there. But as soon as I go out there and they just start cheering, and man, the nerves go out the window, and then I just have fun. And I'll be more worried about forgetting my set.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Just forgetting my jokes or telling them out of order.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah, yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Because I got my punchlines where because it's not TikTok on the stage,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's
there's no
what everybody
editing.
thinks.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks like, oh, what's he gonna get on there and just rile at everybody and Stankabooty this, and like, nah, it's not, bro. Like now I gotta introduce him to Shine the comedian rather than Shine the TikToker.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? It's a step, but at the same time, I'm moving up so quick, bro. I skipped like 10 years just rocking with Gary Owen. Like
Yeah.
with him, he's a whole blessing, man.
It's
He's
so,
the real deal.
yeah,
He
it's
for
so cool
real
to
is.
see your journey with him, and he's another Cincinnati guy, big
Yeah.
Bengals fan. So cool to see that. I want to go back to the origin of your content, the OG Stankabooty.
Yep.
Where did that come from?
So
What's the backstory?
the Stankabooty that came from. So the first time I heard it, of course, Mike Epps came up with it
Yeah.
in Next Friday.
Yep.
But the first time I heard it, my guy from Leonard, we was in school in the auditorium waiting to go to homeroom. And I didn't rap, but I was good with the pencil beats.
Yeah.
So I would do the pencil beats and then we would cap on each other too. So he called me a pale neck, Stankabooty ass little boy. And I was like, what you just said? Like, ain't no way you just said that. And then I watched Next Friday and then I seen it and then
Yeah.
I just continued on throughout. Like, I don't change, bro. Like, these dickies probably from when I was 19, 20. Like, bro, I'm telling you. But it's crazy. It's crazy that it would just blow up like that.
Well, you start almost every video with Lil Stank or OG Stank, whatever it is. And people, I have to imagine, say that to you nonstop.
Every day. Every day.
Does it get old?
Nah. I like it, man. I like to make people happy. Like, I always refer to when they see me as like that feeling when you come home from work and your kid's super excited to see you.
Yeah.
That's what it makes me feel whenever I'm out in public and somebody's like, OG Stank, or they like, hey, little Stank.
Yeah.
And I'm like, give me a hug, come on. And like, I just love that feeling, you know what I mean? Just to make somebody's day. Like, they didn't expect to run into me.
Yeah.
And I'm never rude with them because maybe I try to put myself in their shoes. Like, maybe this the last time they ever gonna see me again.
Yep.
Like, who knows what the future holds? Maybe they flying in from Georgia or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I just always try to put myself in their shoes. But they keep me going, bro. Like, if it weren't for them, we wouldn't have no reason to do this.
Right. Well, and it's changed your life in the last 2 years.
Drastically.
2 weeks out of the mailman business, like officially. Now that One Mailman on tour all across the country.
Yep.
You mentioned Gary, and he's a guy that I've watched for a long time because we got mutual friends. You know, Joey Cook, who I know you're boys with too.
Yep.
Gary taking you under his wing. What did that mean to you, and how has that just changed your journey?
Bro, it changed my life. I mean, it's for the fact that him to even just believe in me, like, you know what I mean, just give me a shot.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it's a blessing. I thank God every day. I thank him every weekend. Like, I'm sure he tired of the shit, but
yeah,
it's like, bro, you ain't me out of everybody. Like, you ain't have to do that. But
right.
He's like, bro, I seen something in you. Like, you got it. He said, I seen it in Kevin Hart. I seen it in a couple other comedians that this fell in my lap, bro. Like, I ain't never wanted to be no comedian. I ain't never wanted to be no stand-up, none of that.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't want to be no entertainer. This just fell in my lap, bro. I just been me. I've been this way my whole life. So he's like, you got it, dog. You just got it. I can't tell you what it is. He said, you just got to figure it out. So he be on my ass about going to open mic. But I be so busy, and like I said, when I go home, like, I'm still a dad. I'm still a husband. Like, I got stuff to do at home too, and like pick my kids up from school and all this, and eat dinner with them. And like, I don't want to miss that at the same time. I need to work on my craft. That's my career now. So, and he's like, that's our gym, bro. You gotta hit that gym.
Yep.
So I need to listen to him. I need to go ahead and do it. He know what he's talking about.
He's been good at it for like 20, 30 years. He's got it going on.
He's a beast, bro. He's amazing, but he is him.
Yeah.
Like, what you see on camera, he's legit, the real deal.
Yeah.
And then he shouted me out on Club Shay Shay.
How crazy is that?
And then Whiskey Ginger, I think.
Yep.
Talked about me on there. He's a blessing, bro. He's changing my life. I can't thank him enough.
Well,
shout out to you, Gary. I love you, little stank.
Well, and one day you're gonna look back at what Gary did to you. I don't know if it's gonna be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and this is how it is in my business too. You're gonna be able to help someone else take that step and just pass it on. 99% of the people in this business or in your business are like that.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. I guess Kevin Hart used to open up for somebody and Marlon Wayans, one of the Wayans
Yeah,
brothers,
yeah.
some man, he was naming off all of them. I'm like, brother, I don't even know who you talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't never. His show was the first comedy show I ever been to.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my
like
God.
I ain't never wanted to pursue none of this. So for it to
Yeah.
all just be like, here you go, here's your cards, and they all in a row is it's a blessing, bro. I thank God every day, man.
Well, now you're doing it. You've done shows all over the country. You got some coming up here around Cincinnati and
Yep,
Indiana too, coming up too.
yep.
Those dates, do you have them on top of your head?
I do. May 26th, I'm gonna be in Cleveland. June 8th, I'm gonna be in June 8th, I'm gonna be in Dayton. June 9th, I'm gonna be in Columbus.
All right, cool. You got dates in your head better than me. I'm
Yeah.
moving to LA in like a week, so
Oh
I'm like
man,
trying
good
to
luck.
figure it all out.
Good
Well, you've
luck.
been out there a little bit. I'll see you out there. You mentioned stand up and Gary taking you under his wing, but how has it been? Like doing those shows, traveling the country, like it's a totally new game for you. Are you finding yourself starting to get into a groove? How do you feel on stage?
Yeah, definitely getting in the groove on stage. Like, I don't even mess with my notebook no more. I'm getting my set
Yeah.
down, mastered. So, and then I'm adding on to my little jokes that I got in there. Now I'm adding on to them
Yep.
because I already got it in autopilot. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So now I can improv off of
Your crowd work's
what I've
good.
already went down. So it's cool. The hardest part for me, man, is just being away from my family. Like, I get there, I can't eat, I can't sleep. I'm like, man, the sleeping is the worst. Like, I'll be tired all day.
Yeah.
Do the show, and I guess the adrenaline from the show just
Yep.
keeps me up. I get back to the hotel. As soon as I lay down, man, just be wide awake. I'm like,
Wow.
man, I got 3 more days of this. Damn. And then I just get up, pace in the room. But I bought some melatonin, so I'm going to
Okay.
try them. I tried them once. They worked. Tried them again. They didn't work.
Yep.
And I'm like, damn. So I guess them is hit or miss.
Yeah, it depends on your background. I mean, like, you didn't know this until I'll say it right now, but like, I was an alcoholic for a long time. I've been sober maybe 15, 16 months now. And
Damn,
so
congrats, brother.
thanks, bro. Appreciate
Congrats.
that.
One day at a time, man.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. And it's for me, like, I had a lot of trouble sleeping. And so I would try melatonin. Well, guess what? Because I drank or used or whatever my whole life, didn't work. You had to keep upping the dosage and stuff like that. And it's like, that's not healthy.
Yeah.
So you got to find your own answer. But like you mentioned, like finding that groove, being comfortable on stage. Is there goals now? Do you have things that you want to achieve in stand up that now you're doing the profession? Like,
yeah, I want to get my hour down. I got to get an hour down, man. I just got to work on, because it's new to me. So
Yeah.
I got so many one-liners, and throughout the day, it's like I
Yep.
just need to know when I need to write that down. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, oh, that's a topic. Like, bro, you could write that down.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge for me. But I'm learning. I just want to take it a day at a time. Like, I'm not in no rush to be a big celebrity and this
Well, you're
big
getting
Matt
there.
Rife hit. Like,
Yeah.
I ain't in no rush for none of that, bro. Like, I want to master the craft. I want to learn it. I want to do it the
Yep.
right way. You know what I mean? I'm already skipping hella years just working with
Yeah.
Gary. So I want to do it right, though. I'm not in no rush to sell out theaters or none of that.
Well, you got a little bit of pressure on you, maybe externally and probably internally, because you're in a spot, like you said, where you're skipping like 10
Yeah.
years of those struggles in clubs and
Yeah.
like you're on the stage with Gary or on your own shows that
Yeah.
people work 10, 15 years to get to.
And then I got the following, so half the battle's already beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and the people's coming out to see me, but the thing I'm going with on TikTok and Instagram is,
Not the
what is he gonna hear? What are we gonna hear? Is
Yeah.
Stankabooty on there? And it's like, no, bro, because they see all these other comedians that go from they just a TikTok comedian.
Yep.
They can't go from TikTok to the stage,
Mhm.
because it is a big difference.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't hit discard and start over. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, whatever you say, it's got to be funny, or you're gonna get booed off of the stage.
Yeah.
Like, these real people out here. So it's cool. The fact that the transition was smooth,
Mhm.
and I went up there and killed it my first time, man. It was crazy.
I'm sure Gary said it to you, but that never happens.
Yeah,
In stand
that's what
up.
he said, bro. He was like, man, you would have thought you've been doing it for over a year.
That's
I was
awesome,
like,
man.
It's
That's
amazing.
You've heard Sean talk about it in this episode, how some people judge him by the way he talks or what he looks like, and he doesn't care what other people think of him. And that's so important when it comes to your mental health. I'm the same way, because you have to love yourself and be the best version of you and what makes you happy. And guys, sometimes we can get lost in that because of the stigma around mental health, specifically men's mental health. And that's why I want to tell you about Man Therapy. Look, just go to mantherapy.org right now on your phone and take their 18-point head inspection. It is a simple, easy 2-minute test that asks you basic questions about your life, your everyday routine, and your mental health to help you and give you the best tools and resources if you're struggling with anxiety, depression, or even suicidal thoughts like I struggled with for so long. Do it today. Go take that quick test with our 18-point head inspection. I promise it'll help you with your mental health. Go to mantherapy.org today. And you mentioned earlier, too, talking about the country radio station and why they would pick you to come on and interview you. Well, one, you're a cool-ass dude, and you're just real and genuine.
Yeah.
But Jelly Roll, how did your guys' paths cross? I mean, Jelly Roll is one of the biggest artists in the world. When you talk about mental health and mental strength, that guy is so inspiring.
He's amazing, bro.
But how'd you guys link up?
TikTok. Yeah, through TikTok. So I used to, one of my best friends, he was a rapper, and he opened up for Jelly Roll at the Mad Frog.
Oh, nice.
Some years ago.
Yeah.
And when I bought the ticket, it was only like $10, $15 top.
Yeah.
And then I knew he was coming to Cincinnati, so I just made a video like that. And then he's like, his tickets was like 115. I said something, and I was like, damn, you done moved on up.
Yeah.
And I did a little dance, like the Tootsie Roll dance. But I was like, the butterfly, that's I'm trying to go see Jelly Roll.
Oh my God.
So, and I did the butterfly or the Tootsie Roll with it. And he ended up writing me. He was like, bro, I got you. He's like, let me know where you trying to go. And he was like, I'll give you tickets. And then we're writing about everything else. I was telling him about me being a mailman, talking about everything but how I'm going to get these tickets.
Yeah.
Then here come the day of the show, or the day before the show. He ain't write me back or nothing no more. I'm like, damn. Like, well, at least I was chopping it up with Jelly Roll. But then I wrote Mama Tot on TikTok.
Yeah.
She reached out to Bunny, and then Bunny had the tickets there. I didn't end up meeting him in Cincy because I guess he was sick. He had pneumonia or something. So then his manager called me that next day and was like, hey, he's got a show out in Indy. He's really trying to meet you. Like, he'll give you more passes.
Oh, hell
so
yeah.
I'm like, all right, bet. So I go out to Indy, called in to work, like, sorry, y'all, but Jelly Roll's requesting me. I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I holla. So I ended up driving out there, and that's when we kicked it. It was cool as hell. Struggle Jennings, he's cool.
That's so sick. And like, I mean, he's got to be an inspiration to you, like, because Jelly Roll's story, and I don't know every single chapter of it, but, and, you know, he spent time behind bars and, you know, kind of had a rough upbringing, but has now, like, completely changed his life and is an inspiration to so many people. Did his music inspire you? Did you guys have a connection on that, too?
Yeah, his music is always inspiring, man. Just anything he puts out. It's always gonna hit. He's like old school.
Oh,
It just lyrics mean something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't this mumble rap or none of this, any of this other music that don't mean nothing. Like anything
Club
he
stuff,
puts out, bro, is just bangers. And if you feel it, it makes you think.
Yep.
That's what an artist is. He's mastered his craft, bro.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
You feel it in your heart and mind. It inspires you to do stuff.
Yeah.
We mentioned some cool people. Obviously, Gary's taking you under his wing. You've kicked it with Jelly Roll. Have you been surprised at people reaching out to you? Who's like the biggest person you've got?
Gary
like
LaVox.
Okay.
Rascal Flats.
Wow.
Yeah, I got his number in my phone. He was about to bring his helicopter up to the hood and pick me up. He was like, bro, you come stay at my house. I was like, what? Like, don't bring your helicopter up here, brother.
Yeah.
You gonna take it back and they gonna have no propellers on it. They gonna steal your blades. So yeah, that was shocking. But I think that was probably as big as it. Black China follows me. That was pretty cool.
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, that was insane. Nick Cannon, 85 South Show, all them follow me. I'll be chopping it up with them. Denny Hamlin.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, he follows me. I've been chopping it up. He's trying to get me to the NASCAR or somewhere. I don't know. But then when I went on tour, bro, it's like I gotta take care of this tour right now.
Yeah, you got stand up, meet and greet. Still gotta hit it up on TikTok.
Yeah.
Is there? Well, you're from Cincy, rocked out and everything. Cincy, from Reds and Bengals tattoo.
Tattoos, I love it.
You got field passes before one of the games, and a video went viral. You and T.
Couple
Higgins.
of them, yeah.
Yeah, how was that?
That was crazy. I didn't even know he was mic'd up.
Yeah.
That blew my mind. Therefore, well, me and him was writing on Instagram, and he was like, "I got to get you tickets to the game," and I'm like, "All right, cool."
Yeah.
Well, he's like, "Send me your information." They were on bye week. He's like, "On Monday, send me your information, your email, and all that, and I get them over." I'm like, "All right, bet."
Yeah.
So Monday come, I send it over. He's like, "All right, I'll get them to you." Well, here come that whole week. He ain't get them to me, and I ain't want to bug him. I'm like,
Right.
this man
It's game
busy. You know what
week,
I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, I'm blessed that I got to chop it up with T. He commented on my video. That's cool.
Yep.
Well, then who was it? Orlando Brown Jr. wrote me. He's like, "Bro, we got to get you to one of these games." And I explained the T. Higgins situation. He's like, "All right, bet. When we go to practice, I'm gonna say something to him." So he did, and he was like, "They should be in there Friday." Then I got an email. T. Higgins sent you tickets. I'm like, bet. So then I go to the game, and then after that game, the next week, the Bengals wrote me. Like, "Hey, would you want field passes?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want
Yeah,
some
sign
field
me up,
passes.
baby.
What you mean?" So then I went on the field, and then that's when T came over to me. And then I had another field pass. Oh, yeah, the last game.
Yeah.
Zach Taylor's wife wrote me on Instagram, and I had to Google it and everything. I didn't believe it. I'm like, what is Zach Taylor's wife's name? And it says Sarah. I'm like, all right, this might be right. Like, and I fed into it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, she was like, "Would you want to watch the game in my suite?" I'm like, "I sure would."
Yeah.
Went up in there. They got free beers, free pizza, free everything. That was crazy.
Well, I'll tell you this about Zach and his wife. That is his wife, Sarah.
Yeah.
But when I was working as a sports reporter and I went through my time where I had to check into a hospital because of my mental health, both of them reached out. Like,
Wow.
super good people. And like the guys on the team too. I was really close with Joe Mixon, TB. You know, I know T, but closer with some of the other guys. Sam Hubbard's one of my good friends. But like, it's cool to see. Like, I think Cincinnati's unique, where you might go other places and they care about you, but like here, no matter if it's West Side, East Side, where you're from, like they kind of bring you in as your own.
Yeah, no
And
doubt.
I think that's super powerful with the city. Do you think that's helped you kind of, I don't know, embrace the celebrity status you got now, the rise to fame, like to
yeah,
Cincinnati?
for sure, bro. Cause it's all love when I go out. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I ain't had nobody run up on me and try nothing crazy. I mean, they could find out real quick, but like I'm built like that.
Yeah.
I'm just playing. I really ain't. Look, these little BBs stink.
I ain't trying.
But nah, man, it's all love. You know what I mean? That's all I'm spreading is love and positivity. I ain't getting on here fronting, flexing, or none
Right.
of that. Like I don't care. I'm not that guy. I'm
Yeah.
not that tough individual that's from the streets gang banging. I'm not out here pushing that.
Right.
I have nothing in common with none of that. Just because you hear a little soul when I talk and
Yep.
see a little swag when I walk. You know what I
Yep.
mean? That's just, it is what it is. But I am not out here in these streets, and they know that. And they all love me, and it's all nothing but respect. And I love you, Cincy. Y'all are amazing.
Oh, I'm going to ask you about your take now on Cincy sports, because I think we're probably about the same age. We haven't seen a championship.
I'm ready for one, man.
Bengals going to do it, you think,
We got
this year?
to. We got to. This year's our year, man. I feel like everybody else going to float out if we don't hit it.
Who's your favorite Bengal? You got to, I mean, kind
All
of
time?
all time and then current Bengal.
Current Bengal, we're going to go T Higgins, yeah. All time. See, it's a couple of them. Corey Dillon, I love Corey Dillon,
Yeah.
man.
He's
TJ
electric.
Hughes-Mazada, he was a beast.
Yep.
Chad Johnson, Ocho.
Yep. I had Chad on this show. He's great,
Yeah.
man. He's so cool.
Yeah, man, him for sure. Because when he started that sideline catches, oh, man, I
Oh,
was
yeah.
doing that nonstop. I'd be in the grocery store just throwing stuff up. Just
Getting
like,
2
you know what I
feet
mean?
down.
Yeah.
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 Well, and you probably like the celebrations too. That's down your alley for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, man. I want to ask you one more thing, unless you got something else that I didn't touch on.
Nah, I think that's it.
But what advice would you give? And this is going to be unique because usually I ask like the athletes, comedians, musicians, like in their career field.
Mhm.
You're new to comedy and you can give advice on that. But I think your story is unique of like just finding a new opportunity. It just kind of falls in your lap and running
Yeah.
with it. What advice would you give to somebody that is looking for that answer, maybe struggling, and how to just kind of keep that hope, keep that one day at a time mentality, and one day they might find it? What advice would you give to them?
Just keep grinding, keep working hard. Don't give up, because you never know. You know what I mean? You might get it on the third day, maybe the first and the second day. ain't your day. You know what I mean? But that don't mean give up. You might hit it on that third day. Or maybe this the sixth business that you done gave up on.
Right.
Maybe your seventh business is the business you're going to get it right. Just stay consistent. Consistency is key no matter what you're doing, no matter what it is. And then if you got a feeling, go with your gut.
Yep.
Like you got to, you know what I mean? You only live once.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you got to go back to doing what you was doing.
Right.
But at least you tried something new. Just try different things. Go for it. Go for it. And don't ever give up, little Stank. Because you can do it. Don't nobody believe in you? I do. You can do it.
Appreciate it, brother.
No problem.
The OG Stank. Appreciate you coming in here,
I
my man.
appreciate you having
We'll
me,
be
brother. It was
following
a
you on
pleasure.
tour. We'll get tour dates and the link on YouTube and on social media. That One Mailman, thanks so much for coming on The Mental Game. We'll see everybody right back here next week on The Mental Game. And that was such a fun conversation with Sean. I'm just so thankful that he opened up and shared his story about his struggles early in life with his family, with his father, how it's inspired him now to be a better person, a better dad, a better husband. You don't always see that, obviously, on his TikTok with his comedy. But look, that One Mailman, Sean, the OG Stank, whatever you want to call him, I can promise you he is an authentic, good, genuine dude and that same person that you watch on TikTok. And his number one goal is to make you smile, make you laugh, make you happy. I promise you, he did that to me too. Just such a good guy. I'm so thankful he came on The Mental Game to talk about his rise to fame on TikTok. And I can't wait to see where his journey takes him in comedy. Next week, another surprise guest right back here on The Mental Game. Your one hint, a Netflix reality star. That's your one hint. And we'll see you right back here next week on The Mental Game.